Requesting pushback and engine start with Auckland ground. Auckland ground, New Zealand 535, Auckland ground, Air New Zealand 535. Requesting pushback and engine start with information Lima.
New Zealand 535, pushback and engine start approved. Face south.
Recall? Checked.
Before start checklist.
Flight deck door closed and locked. MCP.
Set and checked.
Takeoff speeds.
Set and checked.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Completed.
Ground, New
Trim.
Zealand 204 Lima, taxi to the ramp.
Set and checked.
Taxi
New Zealand
and takeoff
204
briefing.
Lima, taxi
Completed.
to parking via Alpha 9er.
Before
Bravo
start
9er,
checklist
Bravo,
completed.
Delta 8 kilo.
Checked.
Alpha 9er,
Checked.
Bravo 9er, Bravo
Checked.
Delta 8 kilo, New Zealand 204 Lima.
Checked.
Start sequence is right, then left.
Checked.
Ramp, cockpit here requesting pushback facing south.
Ground to flight deck. Tug on the way for pushback facing south. Bypass pin inserted. Just let me know when you're ready to start the pushback.
Roger, you are cleared to start pushback.
Ground to flight deck. Cleared for engine start in sequence.
Start right engine.
Oil pressure.
Start left engine.
Oil pressure.
Ground to flight deck. Pushback complete. Please ensure parking brakes are set. Standing by for confirmation of good engine start and report when ready for disconnect.
Switched off, as we are now about to start our pre-flight safety.
Roger, ready for disconnect. Thank you for the guidance.
We are now going to take you through our safety procedures and equipment. As this information is for your benefit, we ask you to watch and listen carefully. The safety card in your seat area shows details of escape routes, oxygen masks and life jackets. It also shows the bracing position which you must adopt.
Ground to flight deck, bypass pin removed. We've disconnected and crew is clear. You're good to go. Safe flight. See you next time.
Behind and remove high-heeled shoes.
Roger.
As they
See you
may
next time. Thank you
slide.
for the guidance as always.
Please now ensure that your table is folded away, your seat back is upright with the armrest down and your seat belt fastened. The seat belt is fastened and adjusted like this, and unfastened
Flight
like
controls
this.
check complete.
When the fasten seatbelt signs are on, you must go back to your seat and fasten your seatbelt securely. For your own comfort and safety, we recommend you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times.
Requesting
visible
taxi clearance to runway
avoid being
23 left
disturbed
now.
in flight. If the cabin air supplies fail, oxygen will be provided. Masks like
Auckland ground,
this
New
will
Zealand
appear
535,
automatically.
ready to taxi to
Stay
runway
in your
23
seat
left.
and pull a mask
We have
towards
information
you.
Lima.
This will open your oxygen supply.
New Zealand
Place the mask
535,
over your
Auckland
mouth
ground,
and nose like
runway
this,
23 left,
and breathe
taxi via
normally,
Kilo, Juliet,
adjusting the
Kilo,
band to
Alpha,
secure it.
Alpha 1.
Do make sure your own mask
Runway
is
23
fitted
left.
before helping anyone
Kilo,
else.
Juliet, Kilo, Alpha, Alpha 1, New Zealand 535.
Your life jacket is underneath or beside your seat. In the event of landing on water, remove the life jacket from its container and pull it over your head. Pass the tapes round your waist and tie them
Before
securely
taxi
in a double
checklist.
bow at the side. To inflate,
Anti-ice.
pull the
Engine
red toggle
anti-ice
as shown.
auto.
The air can
Recall
be topped up by
checked.
using the
Flight
mouthpiece.
controls.
There is a whistle here for attracting attention. Do not inflate your life jacket until you are outside the aircraft.
Ground equipment.
We will supply life cots for babies and life
Clear.
jackets for infants.
Before taxi checklist completed.
Finally, ladies and gentlemen, please study the safety card and take notice
Clear
of the
left.
fasten seatbelt sign.
Clear right.
May we remind you that electrical portable items such as games, computing and word processing equipment
Flaps
may
5.
interfere with the aircraft systems and must be switched off during takeoff and landing. Portable telephones must be switched off while the aircraft engines are running. As this is a no smoking service, the no smoking signs will remain on for the duration of the flight. Smoking is not permitted at any time whilst on board. If you have any questions, please ask one of the crew. Thank you.
cabin secure.
Thank you.
It's been pretty smooth, Luis. Makes handling
Ground
comms a
Jetstar
breeze.
232, taxi to parking.
Jetstar 232, taxi to parking via
Setting
Alpha 9,
tensions is
Bravo
crucial
9,
for maintaining
Bravo,
control
Delta
and
1.
stability during flight. It's great to hear you've been using it for 2
Alpha
months.
9, Bravo 9,
Consistent
Bravo,
practice
Delta
helps
1,
you develop a
Jetstar
better feel
232.
for the aircraft's response. Just remember, fine-tuning those tensions can make a big difference in handling, especially during critical phases like takeoff and landing. Keep up the good work.
Okay, so sometimes there is natural interaction with the AI model. That interaction with hardware did not work too well.
I don't have the exact hours for the 777, but typically, pilots accumulate a significant amount of flight time in such aircraft. It's a great plane for long-haul flights, and the experience you gain is invaluable. If you're looking to log more hours, consider focusing on your flight planning and optimizing your
New Zealand
routes.
535, contact tower on 118.7, so long.
Switching to tower on 118.7. New Zealand 535.
It's great to hear you're using the Boeing 777 for domestic flights. The 777 is an excellent choice for high passenger capacity, especially during peak tourism seasons. With its range and efficiency, it can handle the demand well. Just remember to manage your weight and balance carefully, especially with a full load. Enjoy the flight.
Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist completed.
Thanks.
Checked. I'll contact tower for takeoff clearance now.
Thanks.
Auckland Tower, New Zealand 535, holding short of runway 23 left, ready to depart.
New Zealand 535, Auckland Tower, hold short of runway 23 left, dash 81 mile final.
Gear down, buddy. I guess it was a phantom dash.
535, Auckland Tower, runway 23 left, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 23 left, cleared for takeoff. New Zealand 535.
Clear for takeoff.
Cabin crew prepare for takeoff.
Approaching. 2, 3, left. On runway. 2, 3, left.
Thrust set. Checked. $80 knots. V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
New Zealand 535, contact departure on 120.1.
Switching to departure on 120.1. New Zealand 535. Auckland departure, New Zealand 535. Good afternoon, climbing through 1000.
New Zealand 535, Auckland departure, radar contact, climb 6000.
Climbing to 6000. New Zealand 535.
Flaps up.
Flaps up. Checked.
New Zealand 535, climb flight level 210.
Climbing flight level 210. New Zealand 535.
New Zealand 535, contact Christchurch, control on 123.6.
Switching to Christchurch control on 123.6. New Zealand 535. Christchurch Control, New Zealand 535. Good afternoon. Climbing through 5,000 for flight level 210.
New Zealand 535, Christchurch Control. Identified. Here, Aura QNH 1030.
QNH 1030, New Zealand 535.
Shall we release the passengers?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
a very warm welcome aboard our flight. My name is Kirsty. I'm your cabin services director for today. I hope that you're comfortable and enjoying your flight so far. I'd like to extend a personal welcome to our frequent flyer club members. It's nice to see some familiar faces on board. Our frequent flyer program is designed to recognise and reward regular travellers by providing additional services and benefits, including lounges, priority check-in, and
climb flight level 280.
Please speak to a member of staff of the
Climbing
cabin
flight level
crew or
280,
visit our website
New
for
Zealand
more information
535.
about our frequent flyer club. The cabin crew will shortly be passing through the cabin to commence our in-flight service. We offer a full bar service with a selection of hot and cold drinks, beers, wines and spirits, and a selection of snacks. Our meal service will start once we've reached our cruising altitude. Just a reminder to keep your seatbelt fastened while you are seated. Our flight entertainment will commence with the news on Channel 11 and a preview show on Channel 1. We will also be playing a short video which we recommend watching to further aid your well-being in the air. The majority of films we show
Transition
on board are the same
altitude.
as you will see in the cinema. Please refer to the entertainment
Set
section
altimeter
of
to
your
standard.
onboard magazine to determine the suitability of the program for you and your children. Some channels in your in-flight entertainment system can be locked on request by the cabin crew should you not wish your children to see specific programs. Before the news and preview show, we'll be playing a short video for the benefits of our business class customers to help you gain the maximum comfort from your seat. If after watching this video there is any aspect of the operation of your seats that you require further assistance with, one of us will be more than happy to help. Those passengers in first, business class and premium economy wishing to use laptops may also wish to use the PC power system available on board this aircraft. Please disconnect if you want to sleep and please don't use the in-seat power to recharge your laptop. Later in the flight, we'll be passing through the cabin with our Shopping the World range of tax and duty-free goods. For full details, please refer to the latest edition of our Shopping the World brochure, which you'll find in the seat back pocket in front of you. If there's anything we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask myself or any of the cabin crew. Thank you.
New Zealand 535, climb flight level 360.
Climbing flight level 360, New Zealand 535.
After takeoff checklist completed.
That's a very strange delay on the takeoff, after takeoff checklist. This happened on my last couple of 777 flights, but it was not happening when I initially installed the 777 package for FS2 crew. So for some reason, just over the last couple of flights, there's been like a 5 to 10 minute delay from the moment I say after takeoff checklist until the first officer acknowledges the after takeoff checklist. So I'm gonna have to let FS2 crew know about that.
535, climb flight level 380.
Climbing flight level 380, New Zealand 535.
Okay, look at the weather changed a little bit since the initial falling of the flight plan. But again, we're looking at pretty good conditions. It is overcast, but we're going to have winds coming from the south, 190 at 5 knots, and we are landing on runway 20, so it's going to be pretty much a headwind. And we have overcast sitting at 7,000 feet. Temperature is 8 degrees currently in Christchurch. Makes sense for this time of year. It's still winter down there, or here in New Zealand. And QNH is 1032. I'm expecting a very smooth cruise, and in a few more minutes we'll start prepping for our descent and arrival.
Sounds good, Luis. We'll keep an eye on the conditions and start prepping for descent soon.
Christchurch Control, New Zealand 535. Christchurch Control, Air New Zealand 535. Holding at flight level 380.
New Zealand 535, expect the UPVE 1 Bravo arrival. Plan for descent in maybe 20 minutes.
Expecting the UPVEE-1 Bravo arrival. Planning for descent in about 20 minutes. New Zealand 535.
After takeoff checklist completed. Recall, checked. Notes, checked. Auto brake, off. Landing data.
So again, FS2 has been a little bit off, starting with the after takeoff flows. For whatever reason, it wasn't a change of software, but maybe Service Update 3 might have something to do with it. Because with Service Update 2, the flows of the 777 were flawless. Whether you're using just the voice model for FS2 crew or the voice and the animated characters for FS2 crew. So yeah, something SUV related is most likely causing this lack of communication or inconsistent communication between myself and the first officer. But we should be okay. It's a good chance to just do some of the flows on my own and not lose any of these habits. So I just want to design a checklist on my own. And FS2 crew might come back later and start acknowledging normally again. We'll see. And I will make sure to visit the Discord channel for FS2 crew to see if somebody already identified some service update 2 issues.
Flaps 1.
Christchurch Control, New Zealand 538, flight level 330. New Zealand 538, radar contact. New Zealand 310, Lima, descend and maintain flight level 080, cleared for the Sims 8 Alpha arrival into Wellington.
Descending to flight level 080, cleared for the Sims 8 Alpha arrival into Wellington, New Zealand 310 Lima.
New Zealand 535, contact Christchurch Control on 123.7.
Switching to Christchurch Control on 123.7, New Zealand 535. Christchurch Control, New Zealand 535, good afternoon, maintaining flight level 380.
New Zealand 535, Christchurch Control, identified, good afternoon. New Zealand 535, Christchurch Control, descend via up V1 Bravo into Christchurch, QNH 1033.
Descend via UPV E1 Bravo into Christchurch, QNH 1033, New Zealand 535.
What do you think of the scenery of the New Zealand Alps? It's a beautiful day today.
Absolutely stunning, Luis. The New Zealand Alps are breathtaking, especially on a clear day like today.
Absolutely. The view of the New Zealand Alps is breathtaking, especially with clear weather. It's a great reminder of why we love flying. Just remember, when flying over mountainous terrain, always be aware of potential downdrafts and turbulence. Enjoy the scenery.
Christchurch Control, New Zealand 192 Lima, flight level 250. New Zealand 192 Lima, radar contact.
Ever since Service Update 3 came out a few days ago, I've noticed this flashing in the cockpit whenever you come back from the external view. I'm gonna see. Well, I'm gonna
After
check.
takeoff checklist completed.
I'm gonna check later to see if it's just me or if it's other people flying PMDGs, 777s who are seeing this flashing. So look at this again. So here we are in external view. And then when we go back to the cockpit, you're gonna see kind of that flicker, like the cockpit displays coming on. Okay, not that time, but it did happen on the last one. But I'm starting to suspect, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, that the FS2 crew inconsistency started after SU3 because I used FS2 crew with the 777 and SU2 animated and non-animated, and all the flows were working.
New Zealand 535, so cross Gigabyte at altitude 11,000.
Cross Gigabyte at 11,000. New Zealand 535.
See, there was a flicker I was talking about earlier. Set heading 196.
New Zealand 535. Contact Christchurch approach on 120.9er.
Switching to Christchurch approach on 120.9er, New Zealand 535. Christchurch approach, New Zealand 535. Good afternoon. Descending from flight level 160 to 11,000.
New Zealand 535, Christchurch approach identified. Good afternoon. Expect the ILS runway 20 approach into Christchurch.
Expecting the ILS runway 20 approach into Christchurch, New Zealand 535.
Transition level.
New Zealand 535, 22 miles from Gigabyte. Turn left heading 135, descend altitude 2000 until established on the localizer cleared for the ILS runway 20 approach. Speed below 170 knots until established.
So you are not unnecessarily
Turn
delayed.
left heading 135. Descend altitude 2000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 20 approach. Speed below 170 knots until established. New Zealand 535.
Passengers, smoking is only permitted within the terminal in designated areas. Please ensure you take all personal items and hand baggage with you. Should you have any further concerns, please don't hesitate to ask a member of the crew or the ground staff upon arrival, who'll be happy to assist you. And ladies and gentlemen, as we are approaching our destination, if you have any last-minute purchases that you'd like to make before we close the duty-free bar, please notify a member of the cabin crew immediately. Thank you.
Flaps 1. Approach checklist. Flaps 5.
New Zealand 535, contact Christchurch Tower on 118.4.
Switching to Christchurch Tower on 118.4, New Zealand 535. Christchurch Tower, New Zealand 535. Good afternoon. We're established on the ILS approach for runway 20.
New Zealand 535, Christchurch Tower, roger. Continue approach. Winds 170 at 6. Runway 20, cleared to land.
Runway 20, cleared to land. New Zealand 535.
Radar altimeter alive.
New Zealand 804, Mike, contact departure.
Switching to departure, New Zealand 804, Mike.
Flaps 15, gear down.
Final fix, 2,000 feet.
Flaps 20. Flaps 25.
$1,000 stable.
Continue. Landing checklist.
Approaching 20.
Manual flight.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
$100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Speed brake up. Reversers normal.
Manual brake.
60 knots.
Check. Okay to clean up.
New Zealand 535, welcome to Christchurch. Contact ground on 121.9.
Switching to ground on 121.9er, New Zealand 535. Christchurch ground, New Zealand 535, cleared of runway 20. Good afternoon. We're ready to taxi to the gate.
New Zealand 535, Christchurch ground, taxi to gate 29er via Alpha 6 Alpha, cross runway 29er, then Alpha 15. Good day.
Gate 29 via Alpha 6 Alpha, cross runway 29, then Alpha 15, New Zealand 535.
How was the landing, Howard?
Learning is a continuous journey in aviation. Every flight presents new challenges and opportunities to refine your skills. Just remember, practice makes perfect, and each experience builds your confidence and knowledge. Keep up the great work.
So if FS2 crew were functioning normally, Stephanie would have turned off the lights, started the APU. So again, ever since the service update came out, something got knocked out of commission, if you will, with FS2 crew.
Approaching.
So I will definitely note it,
9.
maybe log it for the FS2 crew team and see what needs to happen. So everything is working fine right until you have to start your after takeoff checklist. Once you get into that point, it's just very inconsistent or unresponsive. But yeah, from the time I was climbing the airplane, I had to think a few times to see when this began. And I think I can say with 100% confidence, it began once I installed, or the flight simulator itself installed SU3.
New Zealand 711 Mike,
hopefully it's an easy fix. It was working very nicely.
New Zealand 711 Mike. New Zealand 326 Mike, request pushback.
New Zealand 326 Mike, cleared for push and start.
Push and start approved. New Zealand 326 Mike. New Zealand 711 Mike, ready to taxi.
New Zealand 711 Mike, runway 20 taxi via Echo, Alpha, cross runway 20 at your discretion.
Runway 20 taxi via Echo Alpha, cross runway 20, our discretion, New Zealand 711 Mike.
Zealand 326 Mike, ready to taxi.
New Zealand 326 Mike, runway 20 taxi via Echo, Alpha, cross runway 20 at your discretion.
Runway 20 taxi via Echo, Alpha, cross runway 20 our discretion, New Zealand 326 Mike.
New Zealand 326 Mike, give way to the company ahead.
Giving way to the company ATR 72, New Zealand 326 Mike.
New Zealand 846 Lima request pushback.
New Zealand 846 Lima, cleared for push and start.
Push and start approved. New Zealand 846 Lima.
Gonna check for FS2 crew response one more time before ending the video.
New Zealand 846
Shutdown
Lima
checklist.
taxi.
New Zealand 846 Lima, runway 20 taxi
Yeah, it's
via
definitely
Echo,
bad.
Alpha, cross runway 20
So I will
at your
bring it up
discretion.
to the attention of the FS2
Runway 20
crew
taxi
team.
via Echo, Alpha, cross runway 20, our discretion, New Zealand 846 Lima.
Thanks for having me on board. It's always a pleasure to share the skies with you. Remember, every flight is a chance to learn something new, so let's keep that spirit alive.
Thanks, Luis. Sounds like a plan. Let's make the most of our time here before heading back tomorrow.